So, you guys, we have a very special guest. One of my close friends that I've been friends with for so long. She was at my wedding, and I just love her to pieces because she's so fucking real and she doesn't give a shit, and she's ready to like tell us her opinion on stuff that we don't know yet. This is Ramona Rizzo. You guys know her from Mob Wives, the really, really hot one with the dark black hair.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ramona.
I'm so happy for you ladies that you're doing this. And honestly, like, your fans really want to hear from you. And at the end of the day, like, we also really need to cover topics like this for
Thank
all
you.
the women to hear and to kind of like grow and help each other at the end of it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like everyone can learn from someone else's experience.
As soon as we decided to do this, me and Tracy were like, we got to get Ramona on the show. Yeah. Because you are like us. Like, and the people that listen to the show, they like that we're no bullshit and we keep it real. Like, and that's literally you in a nutshell. And you've shown your whole life. You know, everyone knows everything about you.
Like, you had reality TV. You let it all out. You told us, like, we learned stuff about you that normally we wouldn't have if they met you on the street. So it's like our lives, too. We exposed everything. So at this point, we might as well keep it going.
100%. Well, I'm ready. Shoot your shot, girls. You know, I'll answer whatever you have.
Well, we're talking about exes today.
Yeah.
Oof.
I know. It's a rough subject. We're trying to, like, have everyone just tell their story. So I talked about like exes that I had reality exes on the show. I had real life exes. We don't have ex-husbands. We know that you do. We know you have 4 beautiful children. So we're like, let's get Ramona on and have her talk about stuff we don't really know.
Yeah. Is your ex is an ex-mobster, right?
No.
Oh,
it's a little bit confusing. This was the whole thing. The way that I grew up, you know, and I obviously was a part of that world and Italian and all that hoopla that came with it. I kind of made it at some point in my business not to marry somebody that was Italian, but I did marry my husband who was kind of like in that world. So it was kind of like I still got caught up in it, and that was like a whole other situation. But my story is different than other people, and this is why when people that have children and they get divorced, then we'd be like, oh my God, he didn't give me, you know, he gave me less money this month and I didn't get anything. I know it's hard. And so many guys out there, I mean, can I curse on this and say the word scumbags? Yeah. Okay. They're such scumbags. You know, they'll go out, they'll spend like 10 G's and they'll give their wife like maybe their ex-wife $1,000. And I have such sympathy for that. And my heart breaks and I don't think it's right. But the big old but. I sometimes have to shake people and I'm like, yo, at the end of it, you still don't have to make all these decisions by yourself. So like say if a kid, you know, has a situation, what school they're going to go to, or they get in trouble, or they get caught smoking weed, or maybe they're doing something bad, or even if it's something good. As a single parent, as myself, everything is left to fall on me because my ex-husband does not live in this country. So with that being said, every decision, every part of the money aspect all falls on me. So even though I kind of like, you know, my heart breaks for people that are in fucked up situations and they don't get money, you know, to the degree that they want, something is better than nothing.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because I get nothing. I get not a zip, zilch, zink.
Wow.
So
wait, why is that? Because he's not
he lives
here?
in another country.
So
he lives in another country.
So does he get exempt because he doesn't live here?
Of course. I mean, we're going to go and hunt him down. We have enough, you know,
Do
issues
not let your
hunting down people that are real
this.
criminals.
Don't let your exes
leave the country, guys.
Shit.
Wow.
So with that being said, and there's no, with that, like, you know how like the government, they'll sit there and they'll give like people if they need help and stuff like that. There's no like law or aid that be like, okay, well, her ex moved to like another country, you know, the same way that we get like, you know, people get like food stamps or things like this. There's nothing for single mom that this happens to.
That's
you know what I
so
mean? Because
crazy.
there's no child support, there's no alimony, there's nothing.
Wow,
and I'm just like,
suck.
The only way that I could have gotten money, girls, if he died and I presented like a death certificate, and I could have got maybe possibly Social Security.
What?
And I don't wish the man dead. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he's still, you know, we had our beautiful 4 children together.
Yeah.
It was just a bad situation that I think that if he mentally could come back, he would. Like a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
So I'm past being bitter. I'm past like being like, you know, living in a fantasy, like he's going to come and fix everything. Like, you know, after the first year, maybe after the second year, we're going on like 12 years right now. So I think, you know, the ship has sailed. And
honestly,
my oldest,
I think that you won regardless because you have the 4 most beautiful children I have ever seen. Like,
and they're good kids.
Oh my
God,
yeah, they are.
You know, people really sit there and think like, it's so hard and I wish I never had a baby with this person. But then sometimes if you had to do it by yourself and like take yourself out of the equation and, do I want to be responsible for every decision that takes place? Because you literally, when you don't have another person, to help you, you play good guy and bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
there starts like
God.
being like, the kids, you know what I mean?
You're the
They're
good cop and
children,
the
they're
bad
growing
cop.
up. Yeah, and like, they're growing up and it's like you want to be there to support them. You want them to be able to tell you everything, but then a lot of resentment comes in because okay, you told me this, do I not punish you? What do I do? Like
Right.
there's a very thin line between, helping, understanding, being a parent, being a friend, like a lot of that collides and you're left holding the bag. Where
Yeah.
at least maybe if you had a husband, how many of us grew up, well, I'm going to tell your father, don't wait till daddy gets home. I
Me.
can't do
I use it
that.
every day.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're the one that sits there and sees everything. You're responsible for everything. And even the heartbreak, like, if your child, the boyfriend broke up with her, or maybe she didn't make a certain school, or maybe they didn't make a college, or mom, what should I do? Like everything you're responsible. What if I give this child bad advice? It's not like,
Yeah, you can't blame it on anyone else.
yeah, because you created this child with another person. And, sometimes I hate to say it's like, he's not dead, but, in
Might
the
as
same
well
breath,
be,
it's like
yeah.
he is. Yeah,
So you
because
don't
I'm
talk to
doing
him at
everything.
all? Like you have no
No,
contact, zero contact
no.
with him?
So do you have any exes that you like? Are there any exes that like you're cool with? Like that? Because I don't
Yes.
really. Oh, you do? Okay. Like,
Yes.
and you guys are like, if you were to be at a party, you'd be cool. You'd be drinking, hanging out, or you guys
I mean,
coexist and
maybe
that's it.
not hanging out because they can't accept it. For me,
Okay.
like a lot of things have gone left with exes because they'll sit there and, you know, maybe they did something that I didn't like and I had to go psycho about, which we all do because,
Been there.
they become an ex for a reason. But the one that I was engaged to on the show who was in jail, he actually gets out, I think like in June.
No
Because he
way.
had that 7-point reduction and all that
That
stuff. So he's
happened
actually
so
coming home
fast.
sooner. Right? And those years go by, Trey.
Wow. Probably not for him, but for us, we're
No,
like,
I did, but in the same token, I don't have bad blood with him. I wish him the best. I
Yeah.
think he's a great guy, but for him, it's very hard for him to be my friend because, we were doing the phone call situations because we still do have that jewelry at hand, when
Right.
the feds took my jewelry.
Mhm.
So when you talk to somebody and you still have really, really strong feelings, like things were going in a different direction for him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no. So like now we're like not in a good place where I don't think he could sit there and hang out at a party with me. He would never be rude, nor I would be rude to him.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, it's like, it just depends who you're dealing with. So other people, and then I have my first boyfriend, my second serious that I would say maybe I met when I was like 21. I'm still good friends with him. I actually
good,
guided
okay.
him through his divorce because I knew him better than he knew himself. And I would sit there and be like, you're wrong at what you're doing. And I would never even date him if he was the last person on earth. A great guy, so handsome, so, successful money wise, but he's a cuckoo bird.
Yeah.
So with that, I always
Aren't they
said, like,
all? It's just so crazy.
sometimes they're really not. Sometimes, you wind up, I felt like a lot of times with exes that a lot of things went to because a lot of them were insecure.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it's really like about being like, that they're crazy. I just think a lot of people, because, as far as like, me and Tracy are concerned, we're very confident. And a lot of guys can't take that. And then if you put in the whole TV thing in perspective, like obviously Tracy, you got married and you went that route.
Yeah.
But if you would have kept on being in that field, being in the industry and then dating people, a lot of guys have issues with that. Like people coming up to you or
their masculinity is challenged. Yeah.
That was
and they're
my
like,
ex.
oh, why are you posting this or why are you doing that? Because it's part of my job, bro. Like,
It was so
it
weird.
comes with the territory.
I think you met this ex that I'm going to talk about, but he always had to, like, when you're at a party or something and I would go off and do an interview, he'd be like, why'd you leave me? Like, what do you mean why'd I leave you?
Because you're not part of the equation.
Like, yeah, and he like couldn't handle that, like I wasn't babysitting him on top of him the whole time, and I'm just like, this is a major no for me because this is my job. Like, I have to go and do things like this.
Yeah, but a lot of guys are like that in every, some guys are like, oh, well, she's too pretty. I never could deal with the boyfriend that like you couldn't go out and stuff like that. I'm sure when we were younger, we all had that. And those type of exes should never really ever return. And I think they turn out to be abusive to their wives if, if they ever get married. But as far as like, having children with someone, it's a really, really hard situation. And my heart breaks for people that, are not good with their ex because the child gets affected. But I do also, and I think this is I think that this is like a number one rule I've always told people. If you're not in love with somebody and you're married and you have children, I don't care if it's 10 or 1 or if you have 10, 10,000 of them, leave the marriage, because all you're doing to these children is showing them fake love.
They will
Like,
never
how are they going to
know
sit there
real
and
love.
build up their own marriage?
I'm so glad that you brought this up, because I literally got a question to our bad examples inbox 2 days ago that said, my baby's daddy is like trying to get back into our lives. I don't think I love him anymore, but I want to do what's best for the kid. And I'm like, I don't think that's what's best. If you're not in love with him, like there's no long term. No little kid wants to see their parents not in love, like pretend, like fake it. So I think that's really good advice from you.
They grow up strong.
Or how about the people when they sit there and they're like, well, I only stood with your mom because of you. So basically you sat there, you pretended to me what love is. So that child now is going to go into relationships and be like, I thought my parents were perfect. I thought they had the perfect marriage. And how do I know now what's really love? And they're going to be scared to go have their own situation.
Totally.
Or how many people stay for some money? Money comes and goes. It's like the stock market. It goes up, it goes down. So why would you want to sit there and waste your life on somebody you don't love?
Yeah.
Being a parent and being, a husband or a wife are two different things. If you're going to be a parent, I feel that you should sit there. You should be the best parent no matter what. But we do get bitter bitches. There's a lot of us out there that, if he can't be with me, then I'm going to be spiteful. And then we do get a lot of bitter men that are, if she can't be with me, I'm not going to give her anything. Like, that has to stop, because it should be about the child.
Yeah, a kid is always the one who's affected, and he's the one who stands up the least and protects himself, and he's the one who should be protected the most.
And a lot of parents don't get it and has issues to maybe the way that they were brought up, or their own insecurities. Because if you have a good baby mother, ex-wife, whatever, or baby daddy, ex-husband, whatever label you want to give these people, sperm donor, at the end of the day, it should be about the child. It shouldn't be like who they're with, who they're not with. You should have rules. If they're dating somebody else, this is who I'm dating. They're going to meet our child. You should just say hello to them so you know who your child's going to be around. I mean, how many stories we hear about that? Like, so-and-so, they met the person, but what about the mother? I want to know who my child's around.
You got to keep them safe, 100%.
You have to have boundaries, and you both have to respect each other. But sadly enough, this is not the world we live in, and people create their own problems when honestly it should just be about raising kids.
Right.
And as far as exes are concerned, like when we're all done and the smoke is cleared, like really, why did we break up? And they should work upon why that happened, because if you really loved me, you wouldn't be like, well, why did you have to go do this, and why did you do this interview? Like, that's my job. But they need to dissect themselves to see that they're insecure. Like, you weren't going like to go hook up or go get another guy's number. You were doing your job.
Right. No, I understand. I think that you have like amazing points on this, because you have like a different understanding than most people have on it. And you have like a grasp of reality on something that's a really hard situation.
And
honest about like, your kid's father and everything. And like, what's your dating life like right now?
I'm dating somebody. I mean, I'm happy, but I don't sit there and I don't advertise it, because I just feel like,
until
you know
it's
what?
100%.
Do we ever want to sit there and get that phone call and be like, oh, I'm coming to you from girls? No, because there's so many haters out there. Mm-hmm. There's so many people that are.
There's always someone who has air quotes evidence that he's.
Yeah, and I don't care. Because I go by a person, how they judge me and how I judge them. And you know what? When everything is said and done, if I say, Tracy, if I bumped into you tomorrow and I was with the guy I was dating, I would introduce you, because that's a personal thing. Yes, this is my boyfriend. Ramona, how long? I would tell you. But other than that, for the whole world to sit there and to see.
This is my friend.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Or if somebody was, because also too, it's like a lot of people that I'm with don't want to be caught up in this. And I respect that.
No, and it's and you're in the public eye, whether they like it or not. And whether you're on TV anymore anyway, you're always going to be in the public eye. You're always going to be recognizable. And it's always going to have like, baggage that comes with it, because people have a certain expectation. So it's very, very hard. And I'm glad that we were able to like talk to you about how you feel.
Because if you meet somebody tomorrow, you know what? I used to be on TV. I still do some stuff. I have, I run a pizzeria now, a restaurant.
I know. Can you tell us really quick where it is so people know what your delicious restaurant
is? We got
to
come visit you.
Yeah, we're going to come eat pizza.
It's in your girl's home state. It's in New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. It's in Totowa, New Jersey. It's 560 Totowa Boulevard.
Oh, my God. You're like 20 minutes from where we record. We
need to
come visit you.
It's called Pizza Nostra. And what it is, it's just not a pizzeria, it's a restaurant. So there's a lot of, work that goes into this.
Right.
I do have people that come in every day. Some people are very nice. I have great customers.
All right, well, I'm super excited to try the pizzeria for Pizza Nostra in Totowa, guys. Check it out. Ramona Rizzo, so happy you were able to call in. You guys were
thanks
able
for being
to listen.
real.
I love
We
you
love
girls
you
and good luck
so
with
much.
everything.
Thank you.
Thank
And good
you.
luck tonight. I know that your niece's show airs tonight, so we're excited. We'll hope everybody
Yes, Karen's show airs
supports.
tonight with her daughter. So
Okay. I'm glad.
Baden Island, and check it out, guys.
Give him a chance. That's what Ramona said. She said, give it a chance. Let the show grow on you.
Yeah.
Get a real experience with it. Okay?
And
love you.
Fuck exes.
Love
Fuck
you, ladies.
Exes. Woo!
Exes, they have X for a reason.
That's right.
Amen.
Preach. We love you.
Love you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye. I just love her. This is why I wanted her on, because I feel like she just keeps it real.
She does. She's the most honest,
She really just doesn't
bitch.
give a fuck. Yeah.
No.
That's the problem. That's why me and her get in trouble, because we don't care. We have no filter. So
don't forget, guys, new clips air every Thursday. So see you next Thursday.
Hosted on dimlywit.com.
even though we are not your best examples,
We're the best you've got.
so cheers, bitches.
Cheers. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for updates, and if you like this clip, share it with a friend.